What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Now, we did recently come out with the brand new Warrior Mini, and that gave us an idea, and that is to go over all of the lights that we offer with specifically stainless steel tail switches. Now, we offer all kinds of lights with these stainless steel tail switches, such as EDC lights, throwers, weapon lights, and even more.
So before we go over all of these awesome lights, we are going to give away one of the new Warrior Minis. All you guys need to do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, and in the comments below, let us know what your favorite stainless steel tail switch Olight is.
Before we talk about all of these individual models, let's talk about why we did this type of tail switch in the first place. Now, we wanted to make something more low profile and something that didn't wear out like the rubber tail switches on most of the tactical flashlights on the market. So we knew we wanted to do something in steel, but also we wanted to integrate our magnetic charging abilities. So we first came out with the stainless steel tail switch with the original M2r, the Warrior X, and also the M2r Pro. Now, with this design, it is completely flat and flush, which is nice because you're still able to magnetically charge it through the actual tail switch, but also you can tail stand it if you like to use it on a table or something like that. Now, once we offered our first edition of the stainless steel tail switch, people absolutely loved it, but they did have a few recommendations, and one of those was to actually have the switch itself be raised to make it a lot easier to use with gloves on. So what we did is we came out with the M2r Pro, and that actually has a tail switch that is raised up, so if there's something on your hands or you're wearing gloves, it's a lot easier to press. Now, we also put these little points around the switch itself, allowing it to still tail stand without you actually pressing the switch, and it also allows it to still be magnetically charged. Now, that improvement was a huge success for us, and we got a lot of positive feedback from our fans. So we actually integrated that new raised tail cap design on the Warrior X Pro, also the brand new Warrior Mini. Now, after that, we actually made a third rendition of the stainless steel tail switch, and that was with the dedicated rifle light Odin, which allowed you to actually have a lock-on remote switch. Now, the coolest part about this design is we were still able to incorporate the exact same stainless steel tail switch. So this still has the raised thumb switch and also the points going around, so you can still tail stand it, you can still magnetically charge it, but the surrounding edge right here is built to have that lock-on remote switch for your rifle. Now, we did do that exact same design on one other product so far, and that is the Warrior X Turbo. Now, some people like to put these on their long rifles, especially in the European markets for something they call lamping. So because of that, we definitely wanted to integrate that lock-on design with the stainless steel tail switch.
So we started out with the flat stainless steel tail switch, moved up to the raised tail switch, and then made the version that works with the locking remote switch.
We figured the best way to show all of the stainless steel tail switch lights that Olight has to offer was to just put them all on the table together. That gives you a really good size comparison while we're talking about these, but also it saves a lot of time talking about the differences between each model. So let's go ahead and start from the left, and this is the brand new Warrior Mini. And this is what sparked the idea for the video, since we just came out with a new stainless steel Tailswitch flashlight. Now this features 1500 lumens coming out of this tiny little light and has 190 meters of beam distance, and it does feature our newest design of the Tailswitch, which is raised to help you use it when there's something on your hands or you're wearing gloves, and we included these points going around the edge, so that allows it to still magnetically charge, but also you're still able to tail stand it without pressing the switch itself. Now going up from there is actually the original stainless steel Tailswitch Olight, and that is the M2r Warrior. Now this also features 1500 lumens and it has 208 meters of beam distance. So let's take a look at the innovation there. They're both 1500 lumens. This has 190 meters of beam distance. This has 208. So you're looking at less than a 20 meter beam distance difference here between these two, and look at how much larger that M2r Warrior is than the Warrior Mini. So this light is basically knocking this one out. So what did we have to do from there? We needed to make a better version, a much more better performance version of the M2r Warrior. So here we have the M2r Pro. Now this features 1800 lumens and it has 300 meters of beam distance. Now that is a significant beam distance increase from the Warrior Mini. So now it makes sense to go with both of these because you're getting over 100 meters of beam distance more than the Warrior Mini. So that basically knocks this one out right here, but it makes sense to go with both of these. Now let's go ahead and move on to something that is completely different than the rest of the lights here on the table, and that is the Odin. The Odin is actually a dedicated rifle light, so this is built specifically to work on a rifle. And the reason for that is because it actually has an attachment point right here to work with the mount that works for a Picatinny rail, but also you can attach this to third-party mounts as well if you have M-Lock or Keymod or anything like that. So really cool attachment point there, and also this features a newer design of the Tailswitch like what we talked about earlier, where it actually works with our locking remote switch. You can lock it down like that and it is locked on and going nowhere. So really awesome design here, and the fact that it still has the exact same tail switch with that raised switch and the points around here. So again, charges magnetically, and you can tail stand it as well if you'd want to use it handheld. Now if you notice, this is very similar in size to the M2r Pro, and they're very similar in performance as well. So the Odin right here is 2000 lumens and it has 300 meters of throw. This is 1800 lumens and has 300 meters of throw. So up close, the Odin is going to be a little bit brighter, but in terms of intensity on a given subject that you're shining the light out at, the intensity is going to be the same. Now let's move on to the larger Warrior series lights, and the first one is going to be the original Warrior X. Now this features 2000 lumens and it has 560 meters of beam distance. If you're familiar with the larger Warrior series lights, these are absolute awesome small throwers. So if you like a longer beam distance, you definitely want to go with one of the Warrior series lights. This also features the original flat style stainless steel tail switch, because this came out before we came out with the new version like on the M2r Pro. And then of course we did actually come out with a new version, which is the Warrior X Pro right here. And this features 2250 lumens with a 600 meter beam distance. So you are getting better performance there. It has larger heat sinks to help out with run times. And it does feature that new pronounced tail switch with the points on the side, allowing you to magnetically charge and also be able to tail stand it. Now, since the larger Warrior lights were already amazing throwers, 560, 600 meters, which is wild, we decided to take it a step further with the Warrior X Turbo. Now, if you look at the size of the head on this light, the reason why it's so large is to make this an absolute thrower. Now, this has a 1000 meter beam distance and it only has 1100 lumens. Now, you definitely need to check out another video that I made on this YouTube channel talking about candela and how throwers work. Throwers are more based on the actual design of the light and not the lumens. If a light has very high candela, meaning that has a very long throw, it does not have super high lumens because you can see that very small LED, but we have a very large, smooth reflector here to give you that high candela and that really high intensity at longer distances. So even though it's only 1100 lumens, this thing is an absolute beast at 1,000-meter beam distance. The cool part about this one too is it actually has the same tail switch as the Odin, so if you do want to use the locking remote switch with this, it is compatible. And then of course it still has that raised tail switch itself for your thumb, the points around the edge to work with magnetic charging and be able to tail stand. Now the largest light in the stainless steel tail switch lineup is the Olight Pro. You guys absolutely love this light. I mean, look how cool that milling is on the body there. We have the side switch, and it does have the flat, smooth tail switch here. So it does work with magnetic charging, but it is the previous design compared to lights like the Pro lights and the Warrior Mini. Now this actually features 2100 lumens and 1080 meters of beam distance. If you guys want to check out the Warrior X Turbo review that I posted on this channel about a month ago, you'll see that the actual beam intensity of the Olight Pro really does blow away the Warrior X Turbo. Now keep in mind this does have a higher price tag and it is much larger than the Warrior X Turbo, so they both have their place in our lineup. But if you want an absolute beast of a thrower, just blow your mind, absolute insane beam intensity, you gotta check out the Olight Pro. So again, here is your comparison between all of the stainless steel tail switch Olights, the Warrior Mini, the M2r, M2r Pro, the Odin, the Warrior X, the Warrior X Pro, the Warrior X Turbo, and the Olight Pro.
Thank you guys so much for checking out this stainless steel tail switch overview.
Hopefully this video gave you a better idea of all of the different stainless steel tail switch options that we have. Going all the way from the Warrior Mini up to the Olight Pro, whatever size or functionality that you need, we have you covered with these awesome tail switches. If you'd like to see a more in-depth review and unboxings of all of these lights that we showed you today, please check out the other videos on this YouTube channel because we have more videos on literally everything that we just showed you.
And don't forget, we are giving away one of the new Warrior Minis. All you guys need to do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, and in the comments below, let us know what your favorite stainless steel tail switch Olight is.
Honestly, I think this tail switch design is one of the most unique and distinctive features of the Olight brand. So if you haven't gotten one of these lights with these awesome tail switches, please do at olightstore.com. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Our stainless steel...
The locking tail switch, nope, the locking.
These special... Alright, special. I keep stainless
I know.
steel special.